Hi students, welcome to ChemShow. Today in this video, I am discussing with you the topics Beer-Lambert's law, limitation and its application. Haven't you heard about Beer's law and Lambert's law? It is the relationship between the extent of light absorbed, and the thickness of the absorbing material. Thickness of the absorbing material is given by Lambert's law. Suppose X is the thickness. That is in the case of pure substance. If the absorbing material is a solution, the influence of its concentration on the extent of light absorbed is given by Beer's law. That is, for a solution, here we have a very useful relationship emerges from the combination of above two laws, that is Beer's law and Lambert's law. That is referred to as Beer-Lambert's law. The absorption of light in the visible and near ultraviolet regions by a solution is given by the photophysical law. That is known as Beer-Lambert's law. Let us see the statement for the Beer-Lambert's law. It states that when a beam of monochromatic radiation passes through a solution of an absorbing substance, the rate of decrease of intensity of radiation with thickness of the solution is directly proportional to the intensity of the incident radiation as well as to the concentration of the solution. Okay. That is when a beam of monochromatic radiation. What do you mean by monochromatic? That is only containing only one color. That is single wavelength or frequency. When a beam of monochromatic radiation of a suitable frequency passes through the solution, it is absorbed by the solution. As a result, what is happening? The intensity of the light when it finally emerges from the solution is considerably reduced. That is, intensity get reduced. Okay. Here we have the mathematical expression for that. That is, it states that when a beam of monochromatic radiation passes through a solution of an absorbing substance, the rate of decrease of intensity of radiation with thickness of the solution. What is thickness here? X is the thickness. Okay. Thickness of the solution is directly proportional to the intensity of the incident radiation as well as to the concentration of the solution. That is, intensity of incident radiation means I0 is the intensity of incident radiation. Okay. That is, mathematically we have Beer-Lambert's law, that is di by I is directly proportional to minus IC. I is the intensity of radiation, C is the molar concentration of the solution. That is, di by I equal to minus kCx. That is, K is a constant, that is characteristics of both the radiation and the medium. That is, K is a constant characteristic of both the radiation and the medium. Okay. That is, the probability that the photons of a beam of intensity I0 will be absorbed by the sample is directly proportional to the concentration and the thickness X, thickness of the absorbing solution, and we have mathematically thus di by I equal to di by I is directly proportional to minus IC. This minus sign indicate that there is a reduction in intensity. Okay. That is minus sign indicate that there is a reduction in intensity. Minus sign indicate that there is a reduction in intensity. It is where di by I is the change in intensity produced by the absorption of radiation on passing through a thickness x. X of the solution of concentration C, and K is a characteristic constant which depends on both the radiation and the medium. Okay. This I0 is the intensity of the incident beam, and Ix is the intensity of the transmitted beam or emergent beam, and X is the thickness of the absorbing solution. And we have here that is then integrating through the whole limit, we have di by I. This integral of I0 to Ix. From I0 to Ix, we are integrating the whole limit. Di by I is equal to minus Kx. K and C constant taking outside, and 0 to x dx. Here we have is ln Ix by I0 equal to minus K Cx. Minus K Cx. That is, here we are converting the natural logarithm into logarithm, and we had already know that ln is equal to 2.303 log. Here we are converting natural logarithm into logarithm, and log Ix by I0 equal to minus K 2.303 Cx. And here we are introducing a new term, that is molar absorption coefficient or molar extension coefficient, which is expressed in mole per liter, that is epsilon, and the thickness x in centimeter. Okay. This epsilon equal to K by 2.303. That is, it's a absorption coefficient or extension coefficient of the absorbing medium. It is characteristics of the solute and depends upon the nature of the solvent, temperature, and the wavelength of the radiation employed. Yes, I'm explaining once again. That is, it's a absorption coefficient or extension coefficient. It is molar absorption coefficient or molar extension coefficient. It is a of the absorbing medium. It is a characteristics of the solute. It is a characteristics of the solute and depends upon the nature of the solvent, temperature, and wavelength of the radiation employed. Okay. And it is expressed in mole per liter and the thickness in centimeter. That is defining log I0 by I. That is log I0 by Ix equal to epsilon Cx and absorbance. Here we are introducing A is equal to log epsilon Cx. That is log I0 by Ix equal to A. Absorbance or optical density of the solution. Optical density of the solution. Okay. That is A is equal to epsilon Cx. That is absorbance or optical density of the solution. Here we are introducing a new term. The transmittance T is equal to Ix by I0. It is defined as the ratio of emergent intensity to the incident intensity. That is Ix by I0. It is a ratio of emergent intensity to the incident intensity. That is Ix by I0. Okay. That is T is equal to Ix by I0. It is defined as the ratio of emergent intensity to the incident intensity. That is, A is equal to minus log T. Here we have another relationship, that is absorbance A and transmittance T are related as A is equal to minus log T. That is, absorbance A and transmittance T is related as A is equal to minus log T. Then T is equal to 10 raised to minus A. That is equal to 10 raised to minus epsilon Cx. That is 10 raised to minus epsilon Cx. That is, I'll explain once again. That is T transmittance, that is Ix by I0. It is defined as the ratio of emergent intensity to the incident intensity. And here we have a relationship, that is connect absorbance and transmittance, that is equal to A equal to minus log T. We can rewrite that equation as T is equal to 10 raised to minus A. T equal to 10 raised to minus A, and finally that is equal to 10 raised to epsilon minus epsilon Cx. It is actually the relationship log Ix by I0 equal to minus Kcx is actually that governs the Beer-Lambert's law. That is, this equation actually governs the Beer-Lambert's law. Log Ix by I0 equal to minus K by 2.303 Cx. That is, intensity of a beam of monochromatic radiation decreases exponentially with increase in the thickness x and the concentration C of the absorbing medium. This is actually Beer-Lambert law. This equation actually governs the Beer-Lambert's law. Okay, let us discuss the limitations of Beer-Lambert's law. Okay, limitations of Beer-Lambert's law. The Beer-Lambert's law is not obeyed if the radiation used is not monochromatic. That is, in this we are using a monochromatic light radiation. Okay, this Beer-Lambert's law is not obeyed if the radiation used is not monochromatic. And there is no solvent-solvent interaction and the solution is dilute. That is, Beer-Lambert law would be valid only if the solution is dilute and there is no solute-solvent interaction. That is, the law governs the absorption behavior of dilute solution only. It is only the dilute solutions are obeyed this law. But at high solute concentration, what is actually happening here? The interanic interaction can drastically alter the ability of the solute to absorb a given wavelength of incident radiation. That is, at high concentration, high solute concentration, the interanic interaction, there is a solute-solvent interaction in that solution, there is a solute-solvent interaction. Hence, we can say that there is a solute-solvent interaction in that solution and the law would not be obeyed if there is solute-solvent interaction. Hence, at high concentration, high solute concentration, the interanic interaction can drastically alter the ability of the solute to absorb a given wavelength of the incident radiation. Thus, relationship between A and C shows deviation from linearity. That is, here we can see the plot between A versus C. It's a linear plot. That is, the plot between A, absorbance, and C, concentration, is a linear plot. It is at high concentration, high solute concentration, it shows deviation from linearity. Thus, here we are discussing the limitations of Beer-Lambert law. The first point, the Beer-Lambert law is not obeyed if the radiation used is not monochromatic. Second point, Beer-Lambert law would be valid only if the solution is dilute and there is no solute-solvent interaction and the molecular state of the solute does not change with change in concentration. Thus, that is, the law governs the absorption behavior of dilute solutions only, but at high solute concentration, the interionic interaction can drastically alter the ability of the solute to absorb a given wavelength of the incident radiation. Thus, relationship between A and C shows deviation from linearity. And also, the refractive index of the solution changes at high concentration. That is, refractive index of the solution changes at high concentration. That is, actually what is happening at high solute concentration, the ions of the solute, if it is an electrolyte, are close enough to disturb the charge distribution of their neighbors. Is it? It is the interionic interaction. That means there is solute-solvent interaction that can drastically alter the ability of the solute to absorb a given wavelength of the incident radiation. That is, that concentration, that at high solute concentration there is a solute-solvent interaction. That is, interionic interaction can drastically alter the ability of the solute to absorb a given wavelength of incident radiation. Suppose if it is incident radiation, the interionic interaction among the solute and solvents, that is solute-solvent interaction, can drastically alter the ability of the solute to absorb this I0, that is, to absorb this particular incident radiation of particular wavelength. Okay. Hence, at high concentration, there are distinct deviation from linearity. That is, at high concentration, this law does not obey at high concentration. Okay. Now, let us discuss the applications of Beer-Lambert's law. A series of dilute solutions of non-concentration of a substance are prepared and we can measure absorbance by using different instruments that is named calorimeter, spectrophotometer, etc. Okay, that is, we can prepare a series of dilute solutions of non-concentration and we can calculate what absorbance, okay, by using the instruments. Second, a plot of absorbance versus concentration gives a straight line that we had already discussed. That is, absorbance can be measured for the given solution of the substance of unknown concentration. That is, we can measure absorbance for the given solution of the substance of unknown concentration. If the concentration is unknown, we can measure absorbance. And also, the unknown concentration can be obtained by from the graph, by extrapolating the graph. Okay, the unknown concentration can be obtained from the graph by extrapolation. These are the applications of Beer-Lambert's law. So if you have any doubts regarding this section, you can ask doubts in the comment section. Okay. So let us wind up this section. Thank you.